Thank you.
Over here, Hugh.
Yes.
First question goes to HFPA social media.
Right.
What was your favorite part of of
I
working?
suppose they've just taken an average, haven't they? And this is the way it works out. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Your favorite part of working on The Night Manager?
Hard to pick out a favorite part. The whole damn thing was pretty much a dream for me. Without wanting to get too maudlin about it, this was a story that I'd fallen in love with almost 25 years ago when the book was published. 93, I think it was published. In fact, it's the only time in my life I've ever tried to... I'm not a producer. I have no producing skills or knowledge, but I actually tried to option the novel because I thought this has to be on the screen. And 25 years ago, I rather arrogantly assumed that I would be playing the part of that Tom Hiddleston plays. And then my hair fell out and a number of other things happened. And I wound up being the villain. But I've just always believed that the story, the romance of the story, the nobility of the story was so overwhelming to me. That every moment that I was on set, every part of the process of making it was just such a thrill to me. I mean, it was daunting because it mattered so much to me, but it was nonetheless a thrill, the whole thing from beginning to end.
And the other question is, who do you most want to work with?
Honestly, I would work with Susanna Bier in an instant. I would follow her to the ends of the earth. The Ends of the Earth is probably the title of a cable show now, so obviously I'd have to read the scripts before I... But no, she was absolutely... whatever credit there is in this project was entirely hers. She was a Danish woman. I say woman, and then people, of course, are now going to think, oh my God, where's he going with this? What I mean is that she was entering a world, a very male and very English kind of tribalism, and it would have been daunting for almost anybody, but such is her intellect and her passion and her energy and her taste, that she never wavered, not for one moment, and had control of it from beginning to end. And I would follow her in wherever she leads me. I will go. Thank you.
Hugh,
Thank you.
Angela Bishop from Network
Hello.
10 Australia. Congratulations.
Hi. Thank you very much. This is absurd, isn't it? This is absurd.
I hope your back's okay at the end of this. I'll try
It's
to keep
actually
it-
not, but
Oh,
never mind.
no. Is there a special joy in... There you go. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jack of all
It's old
trades.
Engelbert Humperdinck trick.
There'll be union troubles. Is there a special joy in playing a bad guy? And if so, what is it?
Well, I suppose there is. I don't quite know. I've always been a bit suspicious of that assumption. I mean, bad people are interesting, tend to be interesting because, thank God, they are rare. I mean, genuinely villainous people are aberrations. You don't meet them every day. Psychopaths, essentially. And when you do meet them, it's obviously... It's a large part of the work is already done for you because they are inherently interesting because they're rare, thank God. It's sometimes, a lot of actors would say it's much harder to make the guy working in the bank interesting than the guy who's going out committing terrible sins. But I honestly found so much of this story, so many. I would have played the character of Jed if I'd been given the chance. I would have played any of these characters. I think it's one of Le Carré's most sort of consummate casts that he ever assembled in a novel. And that, by the way, is saying something because I think I can think of no better than John Le Carré. I've worshipped him since I was pretty much since I could read. But this whole cast of characters, I found all of them fascinating. I found the character of Corcoran absolutely mesmerizing. I find Pine extraordinary. There's something very strange and rootless, something sort of occasionally kind of sinister, as if you're looking at a lost soul, and a lost soul who is capable of damaging himself and other people in the quest for whatever it is that will give his life meaning. I find them all absolutely fascinating. I can't remember what your question was, and neither can you. So shall we just call it a day? Yeah, full stop. Anyway, right.
Hugh,
Yeah, hello.
Jeannie Wolf, hi. They say, you say that villains like this are rare, but as you read the paper, talking about arms dealers around the world, talking about business villains, you know, all dressed and looking proper and you know, heroic. Do you find that you're finding people in real life like your character?
Yes, they undoubtedly exist. The peculiar thing from my point of view is that I was actually physically prevented, not physically, legally prevented from researching those characters. I identified a couple of likely candidates upon whom I could base the character, and I was told that under no circumstances could I talk to them because that would give them license to claim that I had traduced their name in public, and they would then sue, and suing would be the best I could hope for. They might send the boys round. And I was advised not to. Yes, of course. But, you know, that's not to say, even allowing for the media's appetite for sort of gory tales of misdeeds in all kinds of spheres, we have this, we seem to be whipping ourselves into this frenzy of believing that the world is coming to an end and that there is, villainy is on the ascendancy. I don't believe it. I think most people are kind and gentle and considerate and cooperative. Unfortunately, villainous people, by their nature, have the power to punch above their weight. An unscrupulous person has the power, by dint of their lack of scruple, to do a huge amount of damage. Nonetheless, they're rare. I do believe that. I think, generally speaking, people are kind and generous and are getting, if anything, kinder and more generous as the centuries go by. I wasn't around more than a century ago, I know, but I read a book. Thank you very much. Thank you, and good night, everybody.